All right. Well, hello, everybody, and welcome. Welcome to our WFS and SellCord joint webinar. We have Michael Lebhar here. My name is Hubert. I am the Senior Manager for Seller Engagement for WFS. So we're here to teach you more and dive into the details of how to get started, some of the benefits, and how you guys can leverage WFS to get faster shipping and take advantage of Walmart's world-class supply chain. So let me hand it over to Michael to talk a little bit about himself. And yeah, we'll go ahead and get started.
Awesome. So a quick introduction about myself. I know a lot of you here. I've been a seller online for around 8 years, I think. Started early online with other channels, expanded to Walmart. Saw a lot of success there and realized that fast the platform was evolving and the marketplace was evolving. And there was a lot of nuances to it. So we launched SellCord, an agency that's exclusively focused on Walmart.com and primarily Walmart Marketplace. So we help brands with their Walmart.com efforts. I like to say we act as an extension of our brand's teams. So yeah, I'm excited to kind of talk through, WFS is one of the big levers that any brand on marketplace leverages. So I'm excited to kind of dive a little deeper into the nuances of the program and some of the different programs that people might not be as familiar with.
Awesome. And I'm not as interesting as Michael, but just a little bit of background about myself. I've been in e-commerce for almost 8 to 10 years. I started out at eBay, always been within digital advertising, and recently was at Walmart Connect. So I have a lot of expertise surrounding digital ads, search ads, display, but also have been diving into this new role within WFS, where we're really having the opportunity to learn about how we can promote the benefits of utilizing our services and just getting people adjusted to utilizing third-party fulfillment and opening up doors to really allow you guys to reach more customers. So without further ado, if you want to go on to the next slide, whether you're a marketplace seller or interested in becoming one, with the information you guys are going to be learning today, you have the opportunity to scale your online business. Today, we'll go over how WFS can enable this with seamless, low-cost fulfillment solutions for your business and the best end-to-end experience for your customers. So let's dive right in. Why WFS? Well, behind price, the promise of fast shipping is high in the consideration set for customers. With WFS, you can leverage one of the world's largest supply chains to store your products so that when a customer hits buy now on your listing, you can go about your day while we pick, pack, and ship that item, making sure it arrives to your customer anywhere in the continental US within 2 days. Why else should you consider WFS? Well, WFS has been a sales accelerant for Walmart listings. Items fulfilled by Walmart average 50% growth in GMV, and even items with a prior 2-day shipping promise see a large lift in GMV. There are many factors that play into this. So first, using WFS provides your items with both the 2-day shipping and fulfilled by Walmart badges on Walmart.com and in the Walmart app, which gives them greater visibility. So if you guys actually look at an item on the search and browse pages, you'll notice that underneath on the listing itself, there's a 2-day shipping badge that will give you priority to be boosted at somewhere towards the top so that customers can actually see your items and you're more visible when they're searching. Items fulfilled by WFS are also included in our WPlus assortment. And if you're not familiar, this is Walmart's membership program that offers free delivery in addition to several other perks. Inclusion in this assortment puts your products in front of new, highly loyal customers and Walmart shoppers. And leveraging WFS also helps increase your chances of landing that pro seller badge. This is a mark of excellence that builds customer confidence by helping you meet the criteria to receive it. We also have several different tools to help you succeed. So within Seller Center itself, we provide recommendations on when to restock WFS items and in what quantities to support future demand. We also review your items that are seller fulfilled and provide a 30-day potential sales lift report for those items if they were to be converted to Walmart fulfilled. So when taking a look and considering what items you want to send in, we actually have some methodology and programs built within Seller Center that will actually help feed you recommendations. Aside from that, later in this deck, we'll talk about what items we recommend shipping in when you guys are considering what items you guys want to be Walmart fulfilled. And when it comes to support, before we get into that, when it comes to support, WFS is dedicated to providing an excellent seller experience. Since we're continually growing and launching new features and services, we know it's critical for you to have access to support when you need help. As a result, we created a new partner support team specifically for WFS that you can reach out to them via phone or email 7 days a week. You can choose to open a case to get their help via email, regardless of how you reach out to them. Our partner support team is available to answer any questions about WFS, assist in training and onboarding, and resolve cases if you encounter issues. There will be your go-to source to support you, and your customers will get access to Walmart's free and easy returns program and Walmart customer care. That means that when an item needs to be returned, customers can actually bring it back to a brick and mortar store or simply just mail it back. All right, so if you go over
One
to the next.
thing to kind of
Oh,
add on the 2-day shipping element and just the speed. Obviously, for a lot of suppliers and sellers, it's much quicker and easier logistically to use WFS. But the biggest impact we've seen is that because of the increased shipping rates, you're just how much rank lift you get, because Walmart really favors high conversion rates, right? They want to see that when customers see your product, they click on it, and when they click on it, they're more likely to purchase it. The higher your conversion rate, the better your ranking is. On a lot of other platforms, your rank is much more determined by your sales volume. On Walmart, there's a very heavy focus on conversion rate. I think the biggest thing, and one of the biggest things you could do for your conversion rate, is obviously quick shipping, because that shows before they click on it, and then once they click on it, they see again when it'll come, so they're much more likely to purchase it. So that's just been a really big impact from the sales element that we've seen.
all right, thank you, Michael. So some of the additional programs that we will be introducing, some of these are available right now, but others are going to be available later this year. So first we have our Walmart Preferred Carrier Program. This is a discounted this provides discounted Walmart inbound shipping rates, and these are available options including small parcel and less than truckload. So for this program, we're currently looking to also later include full truckload option so that you guys can actually send more shipments in. We also have WFS Prep Services. This allows you to outsource item labeling and polybagging services at a specific fee. Inventory transfer services. This allows you to conveniently send inventory to a single location from which WFS will redistribute inventory across multiple FCs. So when you guys are setting up WFS within Seller Center and actually are at the step where you're inbounding your items, we will give you a kind of a designated fulfillment center that determines like where you should be sending your products. But if you guys are noticing that you have thousands of different SKUs and need to send it to multiple locations, rather than having to set that up, what you can do is utilize ITS, send it to one place, and then we will redistribute it out to the proper fulfillment center.
Yeah, to add on like ITS, I think there's a few really important things on ITS. So number one, again, like as you were mentioned, if you're based out of California and you're having to send to distribution centers all across the US in your initial shipments, number one, that could be a little more costly, but number two is it takes a little bit more time. When you leverage ITS, not only you don't have to send into one distribution center, there is a cost now for Walmart to distribute it, but a lot of times the network will get much more balanced. So it's based a lot more on your actual sales and where the items need to be. So that way customers who are shopping, a lot of them have that 1-day delivery window. So yeah, we see a big sales lift when customers use ITS, especially if you have to send into multiple FCs. This could be a good way to just narrow it down to one FC.
Awesome. So, oh, sorry. Can we go back one? All right. So next I want to highlight that we don't commingle your products with other sellers, and this helps ensure that customers are only receiving your items. On top of that, together with our sellers, we are constantly innovating and offering new services to make your WFX experience the best that it can be. So, what's coming down the pipeline later this year that we will be introducing is going to be a full truckload. So, currently, WFS inbound shipping options are FedEx small parcel and less than truckload. In the future, we'll introduce more carriers, including FTL service providers that will allow sellers to take advantage of Walmart's reduced shipping rates for inbounding large volumes of inventory and heavier oversized items. Later, we're also going to be talking about another program that is currently available called Big and Bulky, as well as multi-box. And then for multi-channel solutions, this is going to be a very large, very big unlock. So using this service, sellers can streamline their e-commerce fulfillment operations and expand their sales channels with inventory capacity to grow their businesses online. We also have global inbound program that's going to be coming up. It offers an end-to-end container transportation from China to WFS facilities in the US. And by participating in this program, sellers gain access to direct import and first-rate supply chain partners and teams. Last but not least, we have our serial collection tracking service. Again, this is another program that is going to be introduced later this year. This service will compare recorded serial numbers of sellers' high-value items against customer returns to prevent fraud on sellers' behalf. WFS will also share the collected serial numbers for each order so they can use them for internal processes such as warranty and service activations.
Yeah, so to add a little bit to some of these programs with some of our experiences. So full truckload option, obviously that reduces a lot of costs. For a lot of our suppliers, we're trying to plan around that, not even having to offload some new shipments into 3PLs because you could bring them directly with container truckload to have them offloaded at WFS. So you could remove a touch point there. For sure with global inbound, that's another way how suppliers could remove a touch point, which could add to the margin or just lower cost. And it's also much easier because all of it's handled. Sometimes you'll actually get access to better rates. It depends what your container rates are, but because Walmart's working with different carriers for that. So that's a really great option. Global inbound basically allows it that you're shipping directly there. I think there's a few ports out of China that will be shipping out, and you don't have to really touch the inventory. And then on the multi-channel solution, I think this one's really interesting because if you have other channels you need to ship for and you're able to, the costs work for you with the multi-channel option. Now you might have some items on Walmart that are newer, you're not sure how they're going to do, or you want to be aggressive with them, and you want to send in a bunch of inventory, and you want to go aggressive on advertising, but you're not if it doesn't sell, now you're stuck with inventory and storage fees and stuff. So this allows you to store more inventory within WFS, and still be able to have other avenues to kind of sell that inventory. So that's a really interesting one that we're excited to kind of roll out.
Awesome. Thank you, Michael. Michael knows everything.
Yeah, not really.
So if we hop onto the next slide. So we've talked about the why. Now let's get into what people really want to know and talk about the rates. So in true Walmart fashion, WFS is committed to everyday low prices. And that means cost is always top of mind for us at WFS. And I know it's just as important to our sellers. So I'm proud to say that the cost to use WFS is 15% on average, lower than the cost of many of our competitors. Our pricing structure is simple. There's a standard marketplace referral fee based on the product type. And if you ship with WFS, you'll be charged a monthly storage fee and a per item fulfillment fee based on item weight. There are no monthly subscription fees and no inventory minimums or maximums. Your business is truly in your control. We also have a calculator on our website so that you can easily estimate those WFS fees. And to help you save money, we offer reduced inbound shipping rates for FedEx small parcel and less than truckload deliveries through our WPC Walmart Preferred Carrier program. So if you guys take a look at the screen right here on the very bottom right, there's going to be a QR code that will bring you directly to our pricing calculator. This is where you can just enter in the dimensions of your products and it will give you a full breakdown of what it'll cost to pick, pack, ship, and store. All right. And best of all, you guys can save even more money right now with our new seller savings offer. If you send us your first shipment by July 1st, you'll get 50% off prep services, including item labeling and polybagging, 50% off storage, and 25% off shipping for 90 days. There really is no better time to start shipping and saving with WFS.
Awesome. I just wanted to also add couple other thoughts. I know recently Walmart preferred carriers, some people are using utilizing, some people aren't. If there's ever any kind of issues with your shipments, any inventory gets lost or any of those sort of matters, I see a lot of people here are refund cycle clients as well. It's much easier to obviously get reimbursements when you're leveraging Walmart's preferred carrier because they have all the information, as opposed to when you use your own carrier. It's going to be a little bit harder and you're going to have to work through your carriers to work on being able to handle that. So that's another thing to keep in mind when analyzing Walmart preferred carrier, that it's really important to keep in mind. So there's a lot of other advantages of Walmart using Walmart preferred carrier, but that's kind of one thing I wanted to point out as well. And I think there was, when WFS program started, there was less fulfillment centers, so less people would have quick shipping. Now there's more fulfillment centers, and it's constantly growing. There's just more regions, more areas that are getting that quick shipping, and some items were limited because of being too large, or being too many boxes. Now with multi-box, and some of those programs, big and bulky, a lot more things are available. It's just important to kind of, if you have any questions, you can always reach out to us, and we'll explain kind of if you could use it for some items, if if you have any questions, and we can analyze the costs and all that, so you could have like a really good idea of what it's going to really cost you. And yeah, it will depend on where you're shipping it, if you're leveraging ITS or not. But I think all this insight will help kind of be a little bit better educated to make those decisions.
Absolutely. And on the topic of figuring out what items you guys want to send in, on the next slide, when thinking about which items to bring into WFS, we recommend starting with premium brands and your best sellers on Marketplace. Items should be competitively priced with top quality listing content, and you also want to consider seasonal relevance and what shoppers are currently in the market for. Not all items may be right for WFS. We don't fulfill perishable items that require temperature control or regulated items. For hazmat items, there's a special review process. And for inbound shipments, we only accept ground shipped items within the US. Any items arriving internationally must clear customs before being shipped to our fulfillment centers. So when you take a look at this slide, what you really want to consider is when you're looking at your seller center accounts, basically just what is going to be moving not only throughout the year but seasonally. You want to get in at a certain time to ensure that when it is a time period that customers are going to be purchasing, that you want to have inventory in stock so that it can get to them within that 2-day shipping promise. All right. So outside of recommending what items that you guys should be sent in and how to determine your assortment, we obviously have those tools within Seller Center that will give you those recommendations. But if you guys are curious of what is possible to actually be sent in, we actually have, if you go on the next slide, a new program known as Big and Bulky, where we're looking for new ways to improve the seller experiences. So one of the ways that we're doing it is broadening our limits and requirements. So we are now accepting larger items and fulfilling big and bulky products that are up to 500 pounds with the maximum dimensions of 120 inches by 105 inches by 93 inches. And this enables you to send in large items like furniture sets, trampolines, kayaks, and that really allows you guys to expand your assortment. If you guys want to learn more about our big and bulky item requirements, please feel free to scan the QR code here, and it will bring you to one of our guides that talk a little bit more in depth about big and bulky. But again, always recommend utilizing that calculator on our website to really get a good idea and understanding of what things might cost. All right. And outside of big and bulky, we also have multi-box. So not only are we able to fulfill some of those larger items, but we have also enabled the multi-box fulfillment program, which covers kits, sets, and bundles that come in multiple boxes. So you can enjoy the same low WFS rates while putting products in front of customers at the right moments. A trampoline will be a great example of multi-box items, as it includes a safety net, jump mat, legs that would typically come in multiple boxes, and we charge fulfillment and storage fees by the box just like any other WFS item. And this spring, summer actually now, shoppers will actually be looking for outdoor products like patio sets and grills, home updates like furniture, storage, appliances, and these are all items that are perfect for multi-box. So if you guys want to learn more about multi-box items, please scan the QR code on the screen and it'll talk a little bit more about some of the specifics. All right. So WFS is continuously looking for new ways to help sellers succeed and to enable sellers to unlock a broader assortment and boost revenue. One business that's doing this is Tinco. They're a developing brand in the floor care category that is changing the way people clean. So we actually have a video to play. G1, we could switch real quick. Let me pull up the video. Give me 1 second. So this is a recent video case study that we actually did with one of our brands. And this is an opportunity to just give you guys some insight on a seller success story of somebody that is currently utilizing WFS. Oh. Actually, G1, do you mind if I just send you the video real quick?
Yes, you can share it.
Okay. I just slacked it over to you. All right. So just a quick background about this brand. So prior to them working with WFS, they had really expensive coast-to-coast shipping that was taking around 7 to 10 days. And then after WFS, they now have 2-day shipping anywhere within the contiguous US. And they just had a great overall experience, which really allowed them to boost up the reviews as well. All right. So I'll let Tinco speak for themselves. We can't hear the audio.
Sorry, give me 1 second.
No problem.
Dinko's a developing brand in the floor care category that's changing the way people clean. We're trying to show people that you can actually use the product to clean smarter, to save time, and to make your chores easier. When we started, our only warehouse facility was on the West Coast. Shipping from the West Coast to the East Coast is expensive. The addition of WFS allowed us to actually be far more efficient. Putting it into their system, we could get product closer to the consumer, saving cost and saving time.
Consumers have an expectation of a very quick from order to delivery timeframe. We were seeing lead times of 7 to 10 days to get to the end consumer. And in today's market, the expectation is for it to be much shorter. WFS shortened that lead time down to 1 to 2 days. When we started to see that Walmart could fulfill at 99% or better rate, we started to see our volumes start to increase by 10, 20, sometimes 30%. So when you start to see those numbers, I mean, it's really a no-brainer.
Working with WFS has provided a much more consistent customer experience for us and allowed them to get their products faster and more reliably.
We get data and information about customers, how they engage with our products online, and then we take that and optimize so that we can make the customer journey simpler. All of these components will help us grow in 2024.
The Walmart name means something, especially for a brand like us that's still building up our name. Having the trust and support of Walmart is crucial.
By utilizing Marketplace to extend the aisle, it's allowed us to do so with minimal effort. It's helped us be much more efficient and achieve sales we wouldn't have gotten otherwise.
Awesome. Thank you, G1. All right. So just like our friends at Tinco, you guys can be the next seller success story with WFS. WFS works for sellers of all sizes. So whether that's a $1 million plus seller or seller who's just getting started, and that's really easy to get started. If you're a marketplace seller, you already have access to WFS. There's no separate application process or contract to sign up. Just add your contact, returns, and billing information, set up your items, and ship your inventory to a designated fulfillment center. WFS also handles all aspect of post-purchase. So again, that includes customer service, returns, and replacements. So it's truly a full end-to-end experience. Best of all, quick reminder, you guys can save even more money right now with our new seller savings offer. If you send in your first shipment by July 31st, you'll get 50% off prep services, including item labeling and polybagging, 50% off storage, and 25% off shipping for 90 days. All right, and in the next following slides, we'll show you what it looks like in terms of the setup process in the seller center experience. So step one, you'll just need to add your primary contact for inventory updates and questions from WFS. And then the next step, we're going to verify your return address and add a US address so that we can send return WFS fulfilled inventory to you after it's processed by a Walmart facility. Next, you're just going to complete your billing information, add a US bank account that is required to cover WFS fees that exceed proceeds from sales. And then you're going to set up your items in Seller Center and simply add your Walmart fulfilled items to your catalog. There's two options to do this. So you can add it directly via Seller Center. You could do it seller fulfilled to Walmart fulfilled, or you can also use a solution provider or API connection. If you guys want to learn more about the solution providers and API connections, we'll send some information over after the call that detail like what that process actually looks like. Last but not least, you're simply just going to ship your inventory and let us handle the rest. So this just means you're going to create your inbound order, send your inventory in with no minimums or maximums. And again, this is where you guys can leverage our Walmart Preferred Carrier program. And once everything is shipped into us, we handle the rest. We do all the pick, packing, and shipment. And you guys can just focus on what you guys need to do, which is just keep on building up your business and creating great products. All right. So that kind of concludes today's session, but wanted to take some time again to thank SellCord for inviting us to allow us to talk about WFS. But also, if you guys want to learn more about any of the specifics that we covered today, we will be sending over the deck. But if you scan any of these QR codes that you're seeing on the screen, it will bring you to our homepage to learn more. We have a bunch of seller help articles that goes deep into some of the details surrounding the programs that we talked about today, setup instructions, assortment recommendations, and then we also have our WFS calculator. So if you guys are curious about how much things might cost, these are all great places to start. So again, thank you guys for inviting me, and let me kick it off to Michael to close out.
Awesome. Thanks everybody for joining. I think this was a good overview in WFS. I think what's really exciting is some of a few of those programs that Hubert mentioned at the end, including global inbound, multi-channel fulfillment, and some of the container truckload unloading and any of that. There's a lot more details for any of those programs. So if any of you have any questions, you could shoot me an email and we could, talk more about it. And, as they start rolling out those programs more, we could, try to get you more in the loop on those. So that would be great. And, any questions in general regards to WFS, I think a lot of you have my email, but if not, I'll shoot it over after. And yeah, we could take a few questions on our side if you want to put in the chat. I see there's already a few, so I'm just going to go through them. For Jason's question, for a test of SKUs, and recently you haven't been seeing sales on them. Again, that's a hard question to answer without having the specifics. There's a lot of different reasons what that could be. Obviously the most important is just make sure it's actually getting visibility. If it's getting visibility and it's not making sales, and it's like a deeper issue, but usually that's tied to just not getting enough visibility. So we could follow up after and I could just take a look at those items specifically so I could give you a little insight. And then for Mary's question, we need a phone contact for WFS set up process since the online help hasn't been helpful for this. There is a phone number that you could contact. It's great support through the phone number. Hubert, is there the phone number that maybe we could share in the chat?
Yeah.
I
Let me
think
pull
we
that
have that. But that's a great phone number. I feel like it's a hack, that phone number. It's just there's great support there. I think WFS phone support is all US based too, so we'll get great support there. And then the next question is, if we adjust the SKU to WFS, will it permanently stay in WFS or create a duplicate item that can also be self-filled? Great question. This works a little bit different on Walmart than other platforms. Another platform, you would need to set up like 2 separate items. On Walmart, when an item is, you create an item, it's a self-filled, you convert it to WFS. When you convert it to WFS and WFS runs out of stock, as long as you have seller fulfilled in stock, seller fulfilled offer would just click in place. So as long as there's a WFS inventory, that's going to sell. As soon as that's done, it'll kick right away into self-filled. You don't need to create another listing, but you just have to make sure to convert your listing from self-filled to WFS. So that's kind of an important point. But you don't have to make any new listing or anything like that. That seems like all the questions. If anybody has any other, another question, great. What could be the reason for items under review for over 3 weeks to convert to WFS? So there's a few things for this. It could be if it's like a health item or something like that, you know, there's sometimes extra review process that has to go through. Sometimes it's just an error. I would suggest kind of reprocessing it. Also, there's some specifics that could be tied to that, so it's hard to know without seeing the exact item. But if there's could be a few different reasons, so sometimes it just works. So like try to reprocess those. But if you send me the specifics, I could actually dietary supplements. Yep, that makes sense. So with supplements, a lot of times those things come up. You could send me an email with a specific one that's not converting. Hubert, have you seen anything specific more recently that's causing some of that?
Not off the top of my head, but yeah, just to answer a couple of questions that are in chat as well. I'm pulling up the number right now. Let me just find it, and if I can't find it within the next 5 minutes, we can send it afterwards as well.
Perfect. And then, yeah, in regards to the dietary supplement, we'll I take a more look at that. But yeah, could be a bunch of different reasons why they're not converting. Sometimes they just need another form or a document or something like that. And sometimes it's just an error that it'll take to kind of reprocess that. Plus it'll take more than a week or so for sure. Yeah. So just send over and I'll take a look at that myself. We've dealt with, I come from the supplement background, so I've definitely dealt with a lot of those issues when converting. So that sounds good.
Okay, putting the number in the chat right now.
Awesome.
To answer the next question, for WFS preferred carriers, pallet and non-pallet, do we need to schedule a pickup for the carrier, or does WFS automatically do that for the seller? We typically recommend that you guys set up a pickup time for the carrier, just because logistically it makes it a lot easier. But it's really easy once you guys set it up. It'll allow you to select from different times for when you're ready to have your shipments picked up.
Walmart does have a repricer program. So you could definitely look at that. I know with like if you're a new seller and like you enroll in the repricer, and actually you get to get more benefits. But yeah, the repricer tool, they have the repricer tool, and there's also there's the cap program, which is a little bit different. But where like reprices and you get a commission discount based on how it reprices. But Walmart does have a repricer product, and it's been getting more and more developed. Ranking, to answer this question, like ranking on Walmart, you know, with any platform, like there's a lot of things that go into an algorithm. One thing I could say is that from our experience, we've seen the biggest impact is going to be high conversion rate. So anything that impacts your conversion rate is going to strongly affect not only where you rank, but also how well your ad relevancy is. You know, the most important things from conversion rate, it's like, I think of conversion rate in 3 different steps. It's like click, impression to click. So when people see your item clicking on it, once they click it to like add it to cart, and then once they add it to cart to purchase. And the biggest things to get from the impression to the click is like how quick your shipping is, because that shows what your reviews are like. And again, you could syndicate reviews for that. You could use Walmart's review program, and then what your hero image looks like and what your pricing is. So it's like really those 4 things. If you cover those 4 things, you'll have strong conversion rate. And then how do you get buyer reviews from Walmart? There's like a Walmart review accelerator program where you get reviews, and you could pay a little bit for each person that leaves a review through Walmart. So that's the best way to kickstart some of the reviews on the listing. Are you able to limit resellers for your brand on this platform? No, like with any marketplace, as long as it's a legitimate reseller, they're allowed to sell on it. But again, if you're WFS, and if you're price competitive, like you usually will win the buy box, WFS will play effect into that. Again, some of your resellers could be WFS as well, but it's less likely. But if they're not following policies, there is ways how through brand protection, how we can get them removed. And is there any way to predict sales according to ranking? Not fully, but there is some data you could use to help analyze that. Walmart Connect actually launched a report called Search Term Impression Report. So search term report, search insights report, actually, I think it's called. And through there, you could actually see a lot of data of how each keyword ranks on Walmart and who are the top 3 converting items for each of those keywords. So if you see an item is ranked 500, that's the 500th largest keyword. And you're now able to see who are the 3 items converting highs for it and how much conversion share they have. So the way I look at it is if your item matches up well to the 3 top items, to one of the 3 top items, and matches up well, I mean, you're competitive on retail, you're comparable on features, then you know that, you know, you could compete well for that keyword, and you could gauge a little bit of how strong that keyword is just based on where it's ranked on that list. But that's a longer conversation. There's a bunch of other ways to kind of get some estimates. That seems like all the questions. Just to go back on the review ones quickly, the ones I suggest the most important is there's 3 main things. There's things you could do with inserts, which is a longer conversation. Just make sure you do it in a TOS compliant way, but there's things you could do with inserts. There's the Walmart accelerator program for reviews, which that's a good way to kickstart. And then there's review syndication, which is if you have reviews on your website, merging them over into Walmart. So those are the 3 best ways. From my understanding, it's a mix of, for the next question, is having an item in WFS ensured to be competition, or is it pricing based? So this is, I'm assuming, when you're talking about on the same item, on the same PDP, just based over another seller. WFS, to my knowledge, does play a weight into it, but obviously it'll also be pricing based. So if an item's much more competitive, then it sometimes will outweigh it.
Yeah, pricing, shipping times, listing quality. There's a bunch of different factors that will kind of determine who wins a buy box.
Awesome. Last call for some questions. And I think we're good. So hope everybody has a great rest of their day. Appreciate everybody joining, and we'll send a follow-up with some more information. And yeah, appreciate everybody taking time out of their busy Thursday to join.
Absolutely. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Yeah.